And then what about 187? What inspired you to? What was the inspiration around that?
Yeah, that was the first single off the album Serious. Your Love is a 187. In total, in its entirety, Your Love is a 187. And my OG, who worked down the street at a record store, who knows everybody too. He like was involved with Pink being discovered and a whole lot of stuff. But he was just back in working a record store, a little older than me. We just were always in touch. He would always just tell me about R. Kelly and all this stuff. And we'd be in the, all these people. We admire music. He spun records in the record store to show you how to get records. So we got pretty close, and I come down the street and all the time and just kick it with him. So by the time, in that time, I got my deal, and he had some, my brother and I, I was on the ad from him, but my brother was still knew him too. So he had some songs, So he had the hook, the concept, Your Love is a 187, Taking Me to Heaven. It was different. So we wound up getting the concept and on the album. It was dope, and then I wound up producing it kind of all together the way we all wanted to do it. And it didn't get selected. My man, my A&R guy, who I told you was tough, was like, sounds like it needs to be produced and all this and that. So I kind of was like, oh. So I told my boy, I'm like, look, the hook is the hook, when we worked on the hook, but I got to strip this joint down. So I've been going back and forth to California, you know what I mean, with a little West Coast influence and the, as you hear on the record, a little West Coast influence with the Dr. Dre moogs and
yeah.
Roy Dogg, who I mentioned earlier, had a song called Doggy Style. The song came out, but not the way it is the way I heard it. We were going to cut the song, but some partners of his that he had sent, and it's funny, I just talked about Mike Sullivan. They sent their wife to talk to us at the studio and told us we couldn't cut Doggy Style because Roy was starting to cut all the songs on us that they did together, and they're broken up now and they want to cut some songs too and get a budget, So I don't know what was going on, but I was pissed. I mean, she came in peace, and we weren't even in LA. She came somewhere in the burbs and found us, and that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But she didn't bring no dudes in there, no rah-rah, they probably outside, but she just came in there and she was like, she said she loved our group, but, she didn't threaten us, and she just told us the situation. It was like, we can't do it. We could have took it as a threat to my man. We could have took it as a threat to us, but she didn't make any threats. And I said it ain't worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the song. But that song, basically the kick and the bass is kind of basically 187. When you hear it, it's kind of that style. Because this is like one of my mentors too. So I flipped his style to give it that beat and kick. 187 is comprised of a lot of elements. When you get to the guitar, you might feel a Daryl Pearson thing from Devontae's guy, Daryl Pearson, you know what I mean? Or you might hear a backward snare that might remind you of Devontae, or different little elements, and then a moog sound that remind you of Drake. But nobody has gunshots in their song like that in a love song.
Well, yeah, I mean, but what about keeping Snoop's parts in it though? Yeah, because
Snoop is down as a writer, and so is Dre, because I sampled their voice, so I had to put them down as writers, which is cool because me and Dre are cool, and Dre's a cool dude. Snoop is cool. I never met.
Did the label not say, "Wow, if you put them down, more people are getting a piece of the pie if it does well"?
Y'all already always had good politics, and they left those things up to me because that was good politics, being associated with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, having my name next to theirs on a record that says written by Calvin Brodus and Andre Young and Kenny Whitehead and Errol Johnson and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So see,
Okay.
we got to know how to bargain those chips too a bit, because immediate money isn't always everything. Is planting seeds.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big thing too.
Did the label? Did you guys all think, well, this is going to be a big hit when it was finished?
I knew it would get some attention. If not for the lyrics itself, "Your Love Is a 187," taking me to heaven, and then the verses. Like I said, I had to rewrite the verses, do everything again, and strip the song down because I wanted it to be that potent, when it came out, and have that effect that it has, and be gangster like it is. Like I changed the song wasn't gangster like that before. It was kind of washy and more subtle, and I just was like, because I tried to do it with my, not on my man, but the way his vision went. But I was like, nah, man, this shit got to bite, this got to bite their head off. And then so my man Doggy Style, the way he did that song Doggy Style, it never came out like that. But that's what, and other people heard that song. Other people who people think that song sounds like, they heard Doggy Style too. So I'm sticking fast. I'm standing fast to, I got the beat and bass line kind of vibe from Doggy Style. And if you want to talk that wild, wild, West Coast, wild, wild, or the Christian, it just sound right. And everything else. So 187 kind of made itself. I just produced it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Played everything, you know what I mean? And I was just a vessel. But it is what it is, It's just a wild animal that I can't control.
Did people think it was a Jodeci record when it came out?
Yeah, that's exactly why I mentioned those elements. So it wasn't a big. I thought I heard that Jodeci heard Doggy Style, but if you take the guitar, like I said, let's break the elements down. Daryl Pearson, if you look on the Jodeci record, plays the guitar work. Nothing's going to hit the streets unless Devontae says so. You know what I mean? Especially in that time. So I give him credit for everything production coming out on Jodeci. And who is a genius, who I have got a chance to meet and everything after 187. One time on the phone, we're going to do a project. And then one time when Usher was young and had me come to the Hit Factory, but Devontae was doing his song Whispers, and Daryl Pearson was actually there. So 187 was done by then, but I didn't mind people saying that because I know that that's not all our music sounds like. So, you're going to get thrown off if you think like, yo, that's why the Whitehead Brothers sound like 187, because we don't have another song that sounds like 187.
Yeah, but it's like I bought the album. I was one of those people that bought the album because you had, when you had the 187, then you had Forget I Was a G, and I was like, okay, one hit is different, but you have two on it. Let's get the rest of the album. And you were surprised that they weren't the similar songs. But yeah, I did have a copy of the album. You and your brother now, you've seen the difference, and you sort of part ways and stuff. Do you focus on going into producing and writing, or do you then think, let's be on the road? What?
Yeah, I tried to do both. So I was juggling. I was really spinning all the plates, man, because I was, producing us. Other people wanted songs when they heard our stuff come out, of course. And then, of course, I had to go on the road too. So I was getting the whole, and being the artist that sings the leads for the singles, not all of it, because my brother, of course, comes in and does it, but I sang both the verses for 187, Forget I Was a G, only because that's the way my brother wanted it. Actually, I wrote the rap when I was singing it down, going freestyle, and I got to the rap. I just said that rap freestyle. I used to hustle on the block, pull out the block, lick some shots, a bumble clock, boom. But that was a freestyle off the top of my head. So when I was done, I told my brother, yo, you got to do that rap over. He's like, what? I ain't doing that over. That joint crazy. I was like, no, you got to do it over. You ain't going to be on a record if you don't do it over. You just going to have a couple of ad-libs. You at least got to do the rap. Plus, he was a great rapper. And could write like freaking Biggie, like to me. So Jay Step was like, all right, I'll do the rap, but I'm not changing it. I'm going to do that rap. And I was like, ghostwrite for the infamous Jay Step, like his raps though. Like, I write songs for him, but I don't write no raps for him.
Yeah.
My brother rap. like real nice. And that's how he went to do that rap. You know, I wrote it here. So there's so many funny factoids inside of music that people don't. But when Forget Al the G came out, I like to mess with people's heads anyway. So I knew what people were going to say about 187 with the Jodeci thing, but that's not my story about it. And if you do hear any similarities in it, maybe I did those subtle little things just because why not? Let's just go at it, you know? Why not?
I mean, people, go ahead.
I was going to say, but I knew I would throw them off when Forget I Was a G came out, you know, because same group that did 187, me and my OG, Errol Johnson. And I'm like, well, now who's this sound like? Can you figure that one out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, producers were generally copying producers. You know, people were copying Teddy's New Jack Swing and making it their own. Others were copying Eddie F's, and so they were. It was the case. I think it was the guitar that was very similar to Freak You, Jodeci's Freak You. Yeah. But you said it's the same guy.
Well, I wouldn't say that. See, like I said, I always played wah-wah guitar. So when I made that decision to go, like, no, by then, like I said, Daryl Pearson's guitar playing, which goes on with Devontae's. But so when I made the decision to go, wait, right, and go, I mean, that's not the chord for Fiend, but it's the same crescendo. 1, 2, 3, 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why should there only be one? I'm not saying was like, yo, let me play Love Jodeci. That's stupid. I told you about how to beat. I thought Devontae heard my man's beat. Boom, 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 boom. But Doggy Style wasn't out like that the way it was. So I felt like I love Devontae, but I felt like your whole album kind of sounded like my man's style when it came out, minus the guitar stuff. So we matching elements. And he had that record, but I told him he was crazy because I never heard about Devontae letting nobody produce Jodeci. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, my man is you know, he went to Berkeley. He ain't no real, you know, messy guy. He just was like, well, they were kind of messy having that girl come to the studio about the song, you know.
Yeah.
But if I could get a demo of that song, and it predates both of our records, Jodeci and Whitehead. Now the guitar playing, like I said, had to put the wah-wah in there somehow. It just sounded good. Boom. There's a lot going on in that record. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of different things. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that record. There's a bunch of tracks. But that's cool. And I knew what was gonna happen. So I wanted to open up the conversation. Because we ain't singing like Josie. We ain't trying to be like, I wasn't like, you know, baby, I got this time to give. You know, trying to sing like KC and shit. And cause you be making me scream so loud. I mean, that would be JoJo. We love and everybody, but we always JoJo as a singer. When Cisco, I was in the studio. I had Faith in the studio with me. We was doing something. We had just came in and Philly. Cisco was in Jazz and Drew Hill was there. Cisco was like, yo, I studied the song on our Sirius album, Beautiful Black Princess. It was like, yo, I used to sing that, study all of the huh and the highs. When I go, I don't think you hear me though. You know, he says that in the thong song, I don't think you hear me. You know, I sing that on Beautiful. And actually he asked me to sing it. He pulled out a video camera and I played electric piano and sang it for him. And then me and Woody would get cool later, and he was like, yo, we used to sing that song on dates, man, to get girls at the end of a date, bro.
Wow.
He ain't tell you the whole thing, man. And Faith was with me, and when they left, they played us Tell Me, they big hit, the first hit they had.
Oh.
Songs. Because my man Hawk Islam was hooked up with them. So when they left, me and Faith looked at each other, and we like, wow. You thinking what I'm thinking? She was like, yo, he sound like KC, but yo, we was like, but they could sing.
Yeah.
And they was dope. We knew it was gonna be a hit. I knew Tell Me was gonna be a hit when he played for me. But people don't like to give up where they get stuff from because they always want to look, But I mean, I'll tell you, because it's not biting. I'm 19 years old. Come on, like when the came out when "Gotta Love" came out with somebody saying that sound like Teddy. I gotta love.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm 19 years old. Give me a break. I'm just sitting here cutting hair, man. You know what I mean? But I had to show people like Beautiful Black Princess. If you want to mess with me and think I don't have no styles or no skills, go ahead and listen to what else we look stupid. But I know how to get the controversy out of somebody. So I didn't run from it. I didn't get it from them originally, but I didn't run from it if it formatted into it. But
I mean,
and he loved it.
How did Motown, when you finished it, did they think, we've got something good, and did they promote it well?
Yeah, well, it's shrouded in mystery, but there was some good. I could say there were some great things that were done, like sending us to Europe 2 times. It worked there. The live tours that we did with Blackstreet and Warren G.
Okay.
And those tours helped build our fan base there. Because I know a lot of people think we just popped out of nowhere in London, was like, oh, Whitehead Brothers, I like them. No, we went over there and we actually embraced the people too. And but I'm not saying that we weren't chosen to be liked, but we also put in the work to give back, to let the whole UK know that we want, and we definitely couldn't wait to come back, honestly, because London, I mean, Motown saw that our sales went up after our first tour. So, but there were a lot of promotional copies of that record out there. A lot of them.